Near-death experience on the operating table gives Scott Roberts something no classroom could: absolute clarity about his purpose. Decades of faith-rooted leadership, mentoring, and service had been quietly preparing him to help others get unstuck, and triple bypass surgery made waiting any longer unthinkable. Today, Scott brings hard won life experience and proven strategy to lighthouse coaching so you get the clarity without the crisis. Please welcome Scott
Thank
Roberts.
you. I'm glad to be here. I'm glad to be here with you today. So I want to take you back to that hospital room that got mentioned earlier, and I want you to think about the monitors are beeping through the night. I'm laying there. I'm not sure what's going to happen next. The doctors aren't giving me a lot of good, exciting news. I had triple bypass surgery, and it had actually started out to be knee surgery that went quickly from knee surgery to triple bypass. Within 48 hours after the surgery, my heart had stopped twice, one of which they called a code blue in the hospital. And the doctors were telling me that I wasn't going to have a normal life. I was probably going to be on dialysis the rest of my life, hooked to machines, and it wasn't looking good. When you're lying there in the bed, your body's failing you're completely uncertain. Your perspective on time changes instantly. And before that, I was busy. I was working hard. I squeezed as much activity into a day as I humanly possibly could. The more I could get done, or the more busy I was, the better I thought I was. But I had spent all of these years drowning in activity, and I was starving for productivity. I wasn't getting anything really done. So here's the idea that changed my life, and I hope that it'll change yours as well. The realization that being busy is not the same as being productive. See, success doesn't come from cramming more into your week or working longer hours. True productivity isn't about doing more, it's about doing the right things with clarity, structure, and purpose. We tend to wear busy like it's a badge. We're proud. We work 60 or 70 or 80 hours a week. And we check emails at the dinner table. We're connected to our phones. We sacrifice sleep. We're trying to keep up to date with our to-do list, and our to-do list just never gets shorter. And we find ourselves just trying to find more time. You don't find time in a couch cushion like you do extra money. You can't find more time. Billionaires, CEOs, single parents, you, me, we all get exactly 168 hours in our week. Nothing more, nothing less. You can't put it in the bank and save it for next week. It's all you get. So the problem isn't that we have a lack of time. We have time. The problem is we suffer from time blindness. And our brains are terrible at tracking time internally. So our hours, they vanish. They fall through our fingers like water, or fall through our lives like water does through our hands. And because we can't see where our time is going, we say yes to every meeting, every task that comes up, every notification. We let our week happen to us instead of deciding what our week is going to be about. So we tell ourselves that we're making sacrifices for our family for later, but later just keeps moving farther and farther away. And the people that we love, they get tired of our distractions. So our problem isn't that we don't have productivity systems to help build a thriving career, but the problem is we're not managing that time. We have a priority alignment problem. It's not a time management problem. It's aligning our priorities properly so that we're handling them the correct way. So how do we go about fixing this? There's got to be a solution. So we need to stop being just busy and start being truly productive. We need to build what I'm calling the perfect day blueprint. And what it does is it shifts us from being reactive to everything that comes up to being strategically intentional. And it begins with the profound realization that our morning problems are really an evening problem in disguise. So In the mornings, what do? We wake up, we scramble, we hunt for our keys, we hunt for what clothes we're going to wear. We get up at 5 a.m. or 6 a.m. and think that's when our day starts. But no, really, our day should start at 8 o'clock the night before. And I call this the night before protocol. And so, what does that do? You take 10 minutes, 8 o'clock the night before, you do a complete brain dump. Sit down, and I sit down in my recliner with a notepad, and I'll write down all of the thoughts, anything that I forgot to do that day, anything that I think of that might distract me that night. And I write it all down, because your brain is a terrible storage device. It is not like a thumb drive. You stick it in the computer, put something on it, and it stays there until you recall it. It doesn't always happen that way. So write down everything that it might be still open in your brain. The next thing, you take just a few minutes and you review tomorrow, and you pick the top 3 things. You pick one professional outcome, one relationship outcome, and one personal outcome. Not 30 tasks. You pick the 3 most important that you say, if I get these 3 done tomorrow, tomorrow is a successful day, no matter what else happens. And then prepare your environment. Pick what clothes you're going to wear tomorrow. Lay your keys out where you know where they're at. You have no idea how many times I used to wake up and scramble wondering, where did I put my keys? Whereas if I would have done it the night before, I know right where they're at. Now I know every morning my keys are always in the same spot because I put them there the night before. The other thing to do, I recommend, is you charge your phone in another room. We're so tied to our cell phones, it's usually the first thing that we pick up. That's something that I get into in more detail, talking through this. I know it all sounds too simple to work, but I want to take you to somebody that I coach, and I'm going to call him Mark. He went from total burnout to balance. And this is one of my clients that I did really coach, that was amazed at the turnaround. Mark was a consultant. He ran a business. He was working 60 plus hours a week. He was always busy. I mean, you could never catch him not talking to somebody on the phone or texting somebody. His marriage was in trouble. He was burned out. So I sat down and talked to him, and I put him on this plan, and he stopped wearing busy as a badge of honor. And he started using the night before protocols. The first thing that he started doing, it was just one thing. He said, I'm going to do that every night. That alone saved him 2 hours a day the next day. And he started doing that every single day and regained himself 10 hours every week right off the bat. His marriage got straightened out. His income actually went up. He was working less hours. And again, he redeemed 10 hours per week. You can't beat a system like that, which all of us could use getting 10 hours back in our week. If I had 10 more hours in my week, well, I do, but when I didn't, I would say if I had 10 more hours on my week, good night, look at everything that we could do. So I want you to imagine what it would be like waking up tomorrow morning. There's no frantic search for your keys. You're not reactively scrolling through the messages that came in overnight. You're trying to answer text messages while you're drinking a cold cup of coffee. You wake up grounded, knowing exactly what 3 things you need to get done today for it to be a success. And then you get to the end of the week, and you're not exhausted and empty. You are tired because you worked, but you're deeply satisfied because you knew what you needed to do, and you know exactly what you got done, and you got done the things that you set out to accomplish. So here's your action steps for tonight. You don't need to overhaul your whole entire life in one day. You just need to win tomorrow. And tomorrow starts tonight. So I want to equip you with exactly the plan to do that. So if you drop your name and your email address in the chat, I'll send you a complete step-by-step copy of the night before protocol. You take 10 minutes at 8 o'clock tonight, dump all the chaos out of your brain, pick your top 3, prepare your environment, and you stop letting the urgency of the crowd be what controls your day. We each have 168 hours. They're a gift. What we do with them is our offering back. Your hours are not random. What you do with them is how you control your life. Stop being busy and start living on purpose. Thank you guys very much for listening. I appreciate being here tonight.